Sorry for the interruption. Life is uncertain. Yeah. So the willingness to accept risk depends on job, age, blah blah blah, and ability to control risk varies. Professional traders versus novice investors. So we have 3 sources of risk. The first one is technical risk. It means fail to produce or deliver because of technical problem. In power systems, power plant outage, congestion in the transmission system is an example of technical risk. This is about the system, okay? And external risk is something that we cannot control at all. So failure to produce or deliver because of cataclysmic event, weather, earthquake, war, etc. But in power system economics, we want to focus on price risk mostly. Okay, so having to buy at a price much higher than expected, this is also a risk. Now, if you have some experience about stock trading or Bitcoin or something like that, when you buy a stock and the price decreases, then you may want to say, I lost my chance to buy that at a cheaper price, right? Or having to sell at a price much lower than expected. When you sell the stock and the price goes up, that typically happens. Yeah. So we have a price risk. So we need to manage this risk. And excessive risk hampers economic activity. Hampers means how can I say? This is hamper, okay? So, or interfere, or anyway, that's a bad word, okay? Excessive risk hampers economic activity. And not everyone can survive short-term losses. Some can survive short-term losses if they have a big pocket, if they have a big buffer. And typically a big company has a big buffer, so they can withstand this kind of risk. So society benefits if more people can take part. So if more people can take part to manage the risk, then that's better for society. And the example of that is like an insurance. When you buy an insurance, you need to pay a small amount of money every month. Okay, but that's benefit for all the people who wants to buy the insurance, if the insurance fee is reasonably determined. So the point here is that business should not be limited to large companies with deep pockets. We need to encourage other small business participants can withstand this kind of risk. Okay. So how can risk be managed? Reduce the risk, share the risk, and relocate the risk. Let's see one by one. Reducing the risks means that reduce the frequency or consequences of technical problems. So in power systems, that means the owner of power plants, for example, they manage this machine regularly, okay, so that it does not break down. And reduce consequences of natural catastrophes. Well, this is the technical problem. So we can manage these facilities regularly, so that we can minimize the probability of the breaking down. But in the case of natural catastrophes, how can we do that? Owners and operators of transmission system, for example, design system to be able to withstand rare events. For example, having enough crews to repair the power system after a hurricane. But technically, we have this concept, security margin. Security margin in power system means that limits the consequences of rare but unpredictable and catastrophic events. So what it says is, in power system we have this concept. N-1 contingency. So here N is the number of nodes in power system, or the number of the points we need to manage. Okay, like a transmission line, power plant, or transformer, substation, blah, blah, blah. There are the points we need to make sure it works properly. Okay, so suppose that there are totally N number of those points. And this N-1 contingency means that when one part breaks down, still the whole power system needs to work properly. Okay, so we need to be prepared for that. That's the concept of 1- contingency. We need to build the power system reliable to withstand a single failure of a component. Then you may think, what about N-2 contingency? Then it becomes more complex, because when we have N components, when we need to ready for this N-1 contingency, the total number of possibility is just N. But in this case, we need to be prepared for 2 failures at the same time. Then the combination is N times N-1. Okay, so in this case, the complexity is ON. This is ON squared, right? So N-3 contingency, you may think that, but then that is, the complexity is N cube. Okay, and the cost to make the power system more reliable incurs more cost, right? So increase the daily cost of electrical energy system. For example, to be ready for the power plant breakdown, we need to have additional facility to generate power in a contingent case. But in normal case, this power plant does not produce power at all, right? So it incurs additional cost. So yeah, in power system, we do not cover all possible problems because that would cost too much. And N-1 contingency is a typical concept. Okay, reducing the risk and the sharing the risk. Insurance, we already talked about this. So all the members of a large group pay a small amount to compensate the few who suffer a big loss. And the consequences of catastrophic events are shared by a large group rather than a few. Yeah. So grid operator does not have to pay compensation in the event of a blackout. But in Korea, no, in 2011, we had a circulating blackout. You may know that. Not whole country went blackout, but just circulating blackout. Maybe 30 minutes, something like that. And because of that event, the what is the name? The captain, not captain, how can I say? No, President, no. The Ministry of 산업통상자원부, 장관. What is the name of 장관? Prime? I don't know. He resigned, okay, because of the circulating blackout. So blackout, as a residential consumers, you may think, hey, blackout, that's nothing. I can turn on my candle. I can enjoy this nice mood. But from industrial perspective, semiconductor manufacturing facility stopped, and it costs a lot to reboot again. Okay. Anyway, so we also need to we need to relocate the risk, and this is possible if one party is more willing to or able to accept it. So not everyone has the same level of vulnerability or damage to the catastrophic event, and so loss may not be catastrophic for this party, and this party can offset this loss against gains in other activities. And we want to apply mostly to price risk, and we want to connect this risk management, this price management, using the market. Okay, so that's why next we will discuss different types of market depending on the time of delivery. Electricity, we are using electricity now, but we have a day ahead market, we have months ahead market, we have seasonal market, but we have spot market. So depending on the time we deliver the electricity, we have different types of market, and actually not even for, how can I say, we have different types of commodity: electricity, wheat, rice, corn, blah blah blah, and the production of wheat, corn depends on weather conditions, and you want to sell it 6 months later, but you are not sure the price at the time. Okay, so the producers and buyers, they are both want to reduce their risk, so they have another types of market to reduce the risk. Okay, so we will discuss spot market, forward market, future market, option, blah blah blah, and those concepts can be applicable to your stock trading, buying option, selling option, etc. Okay, let me stop here, and yeah, I will see you on